What's up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? The only poetic here. I'm back once again with another YouTube video, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to do my first Q&A. I did do a Q&A, the double XL video, you know what I'm saying? But I want to do, another Q&A with more questions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm finna go and get into this, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go and get into this, man. Finna go and do this Q&A and shit. You know what I mean? So let's get into it, man. Number one question: would you rather be rich or famous? This has to be one of the dumbest questions like I could be asked. You know what I'm saying? But I would rather be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about being famous? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate being famous. I mean, I do not like being famous. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, famous, you know what I'm saying? It has, I'll put it to you like this. Being famous, it has its pros and cons. You know what I mean? But I would rather be rich than being famous. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. What is better than money? This is a good question right here. I like this question. What is better than money to me? What is better than money to me is to have a peaceful life. Like, for me, let me tell you what would be better than receiving my earnings. Because a lot of people think, the only thing I care about is getting my earnings. Which is true. That's my primary focus. Like, that's the only thing I really care about at this moment is getting my earnings, right? That's what I mainly care about. Because me getting, my proper earnings, which, I'm going to be honest, I want $1 trillion. I could settle for $1 billion, but I want either $1 billion or $1 trillion. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to sell for $1 million, and I'm damn sure not selling for 1,000. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like what is better than money for me, so what is better than money for me is, in my case, what would be better than having money? For me to have a wife that, you know what I'm saying, has some going for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That has a good personality, a good heart, a good soul, a good brain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That, is free, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that. You know what I mean? Having, a woman, right? Having kids, you know what I'm saying, that I made, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that, you know what I mean? That, I ejaculated into the woman, she birthed them, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Having, a good environment around me. So in other words, the house I'm living in, everything goes well, is nice and clean and shit. The kids are doing good, you know what I'm saying? My wife is doing good and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll say, having fun, like doing things, you know what I'm saying? For example, going to like a theme park, like for example, Disney World or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Traveling, just doing shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Just doing normal family shit. But beyond the family shit, what would be better to having money? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? To, you know, have good, solid acquaintances, you know what I'm saying? Having good guy acquaintances around me, and maybe a few girl acquaintances and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That I could talk to be able to, you know what I'm saying? For me to be able to, I mean, this is going to kind of include the money situation, but for me to be able to, you know, execute what I want to do with my money. So in other words, for me to be able to, you know, I still stand by the fact that, I want to build a middle school and high school in Tallahassee. And I'm going to name the high school and middle school after me. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be called Cameron J. Scott Middle School, Cameron J. Scott High School. You know what I'm saying? That's something I actually want to do. I want to build 2 schools. You know what I'm saying? Then, after that, you know what I'm saying, I want to build a homeless shelter for the homeless, because I sympathize for them, because I low-key feel like I'm homeless. I low-key feel like I'm homeless at times, you know what I mean? So that's just, you know what I mean? I would definitely want to build a homeless shelter, like a good-ass homeless shelter. Like, I want to build a good fucking homeless shelter. You know what I'm saying? Then, I want to own a couple businesses, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, clothing businesses, I want to create me, like, a digital business. So, in other words, like, I want to create a digital app business, because we got Cash App, right? You know how people send money and people get scammed and shit. I want to build a digital app that is safer and secure than Apple Pay, Cash App, and PayPal combined. Because there's still people out there that get scammed and shit. So I want to build a good, secure security app that will prevent that shit from happening, right? And just shit like that. So I want to build a good, digital app, a money digital app, and I want to build I want to build my own social media app. I want to make my very own social media app. I don't know what I'm gonna call that shit. I want to have my own social media app that is better than Instagram, Snapchat, and shit. I want to have my own app. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. See how that goes. There's a lot of good, positive stuff I can do on that. But aside from the online shit, as far as like in real life shit that I want to do, besides school and homeless shelter, you know what I'm saying? I want to own my own clothing store. Probably own my own grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Build grocery stores around and shit like that, selling certain foods and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, much more. You know what I'm saying? I can't really think. I don't want to spill the beans too much, cause you got, niggas out here. They do what I say, my nigga. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? Jealous people out here and shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to spill too much beans, but you get the point. You know what I mean? Favorite movie of all time. So I'm gonna put this like in a 2-part question. Favorite movie of all time as far as music movie, and then actual in real life movie. So in real life movie, favorite movie of all time is Spider-Man 3. You know what I'm saying? I like action movies. You know what I'm saying? So that's my favorite action movie is Spider-Man 3. Okay. Favorite movie that I write, like favorite music movie that I made is it's either Clashing. I would say Clashing. Clash has got to be my favorite one because I put good, like, you know what I'm saying? It had a good story. You know what I'm saying? It had a good story. That was a cool story I put together, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna have way better music videos on the way, my nigga. Like you got like you got like Arts is gonna be a cool music video. I got a good idea for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all these other songs and shit. Like I got like these next music videos I'm getting ready to do is gonna trump all those old music videos I did in the past, you know what I mean? But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. What's your daily routine like? My daily routine is pretty much me getting up, eating breakfast and shit, looking on social media, playing my music out loud. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And then, sometimes, well, I typically make like 3 songs a week, right? So I'll sometimes, I'll write a song, shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not nothing too major. Like I said, I can't really do much right now. And I'm in isolation season. You know what I'm saying? I'm in isolation, which pretty much means I'm isolating myself from the camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm isolating myself from me to get on here talking. Because a lot of people think, I'm not being serious when I say I'm, rioting right now. Because, I'm in riot mode, which means I'm avoiding people in real life. And I'm avoiding getting on here talking. And shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's my form of rioting. It's the safest, the best way for me to riot. And another form of me rioting is for me to destroy, like cause a scene in real life like I did Publix. You know what I'm saying? That's another form of rioting. You know what I mean? Number 5, can a man cheat and still love you? If somebody cheats on you, they don't love you enough. So a man can cheat on you and still have love for you, but it's not like real authentic love. You know what I'm saying? If a man cheats on you, that means he don't care about your feelings. You know what I mean? But it's possible to cheat on someone and still have love for them, but they don't love you enough, my nigga. You know what I mean? Let me see. Goals you want to accomplish before August 23. Well, simple. You know what I'm saying? Do music videos to all my songs. And then after I finish making, all the batch of songs for my mixtape to, elevate even higher and make even better songs and shit. Get me a gun and a new phone, of course. And man, that's really about it. That's really all I can really do. I can only do so much. We don't know. I'm not in control over my life, so that's all I really can do. You know what I mean? Why won't you sign a deal? Okay. So the reason why I won't sign a deal because I feel like I'm signing my life away. I'm giving my soul away. So in other words, if I sign a deal, that pretty much means like, okay, they're gonna be telling me do this and that, do this and that. I'm not a free man at this point. They're gonna be bossing me around. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be telling me, hey, you need to, release more. You need to, you know what I'm saying? Like if I sign a deal, I'll have to make a lot of songs. Like I'll have to at least make 5 songs a day, like 5 to 4 songs a day. Like that's the minimum. Like if I could typically take me like 2 hours. Sometimes it could take around 1 to 1 hour mark for me to write a song, right? So if I did that, I would literally have to like write a song, take 2 hours off, write a song, take another 2 hours off, write a song, take another 2 hours off. I would literally have to spend my whole day concentrated on music if I signed a deal because there's a certain amount of music that, it's kind of like, I really have to have like a good batch of songs, you know what I'm saying? If I sign a deal, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, this music shit is a hobby and always has been. Like I am a part-time artist. That's what people don't understand. This is something I do for fun. I don't take it 100% serious. You know what I mean? I do it because I enjoy the challenge of writing some shit. Like I enjoy the challenge of coming up with shit and all that other shit. I got a question at the end, towards the end of this about that. But I enjoy coming up with new rhyme schemes, new techniques and shit like that. I enjoy getting on here writing. And then I enjoy I enjoy getting on here writing, and I enjoy hearing what I made. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I enjoy the challenge of coming up with shit, trying to write it, and then I enjoy hearing what I made. Like it gives me satisfaction. Like I get satisfaction out of making a song, especially if it's to my liking. Now all my songs are in my liking, but especially if it's really, really in my liking. You know what I'm saying? I get satisfaction out of listening to what the fuck I made. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? That's yeah. But I won't sign a deal because I'm signing my life away. I'm signing my soul away and shit like that. So that's something what I won't do. But I would not mind signing artists under me. You know what I'm saying? That's something I would not mind doing. So in other words, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have my own brand, right? The Poetic brand. And I can sign a few artists, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sign a whole bunch of artists because, everybody going to want to sign under me. You know what I mean? I can sign a few guy artists, a few girl artists, and stuff like that. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're signed under me and I get a portion of what you make. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take all of it. I'm not going to take half of it. I'm going to take a fraction of it. So the money you make off my brand, I get a fraction of it. So let's say, for example, you put out an album, you make 100,000 off the album. I get 25,000 of that. You see what I'm saying? And then you keep, the 75,000. You know what I mean? So whatever money you make off a project, I get a fraction of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that's just what happens. So let's just say, you made $1 million. I get, if my math is correct, I get 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You keep 900,000. You see what I'm saying? That's the business of it. You know what I mean? Because you signed under my brand and you cannot diss me at all, my nigga. So no subliminal disses in your tracks, none of that shit. Or you cut and lawsuits and shit going. Well, I ain't gonna do no lawsuit. It ain't that deep, but you just gonna be dropped for the label. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you are signed to my label, you get pushed out, you get notoriety, you get recognized and shit like that, and you become a successful full-time artist. Will I ever become a full-time artist? No. You know what I'm saying? I am not, this is my hobby and it always will be. You know what I mean? This is something that will never be something that I will take 100% serious. Music is something I will never indulge in 100%. You know what I mean? So this is my hobby, and I enjoy making 3 to 4 songs a week, and this is a routine I'm gonna stick to for a very, very, very long time. But I do want to better my rapping skills. I do want to become better. And I get a portion of what you make. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I enjoy the challenge of coming up with shit, trying to write it, and then I enjoy hearing what I made. You know what I'm saying? That's Sooner or later, I want to try to, begin freestyling and shit like that. You know what I mean? I do want to better my rapping ability. And as far as the writing process, well, I'm gonna get into that later on, but yeah. So number 8, this is actually a pretty good question that I came up with. Your best sexual experience. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I take into account best sexual experience, uh, this is a bit of a personal question. So what I take about account best sexual experience is intimacy and how good you were in bed. So that means, did you suck the dick well? Is your pussy good enough? All that other shit, right? So my best sexual experience, it was I ain't gonna say any names or nothing like that. I do remember the person. Let me see. I'm gonna describe her stuff. So, I could definitely say she was the best. You know, one of the best dick suckers I had, right? One of the best dick suckers, right? And I'll probably say like in the top 3 of all the girls I had sex with, which is quite a few. I would say I have between 10 and 15 bodies, right? She's definitely in the top 3 as far as dick sucking, right? And her vagina's probably like, she in the top 3 of a vagina, right? So I would say, as far as like the feeling, you know what I'm saying? She sucked dick well and had a good vagina and stuff like that, right? I only had sex. I'm gonna give out a little bit more details so people can know what I'm talking about. I believe I only had sex with her twice. You know what I'm saying? First I was with a condom, and then second time it was not with one. That's a big hit. But you know what I mean? That's really about it. You know what I'm saying? She's like in the top 3. Well, I would say her dick sucking skills is probably number 2. You know what I'm saying? Behind this one girl. You know what I mean? That I encountered. You know what I'm saying? I would say she number 2 as far as dick sucking skills, and then her vagina, I would say, I don't know. I'll probably put her vagina maybe at 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? But her dick sucking skills is definitely like a 2, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? Definitely second best girl that gave me head, but her vagina I'll probably put out 4 or 5. You know what I mean? I just remembered a few other girls. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would say her, and then it was this other girl, right? She was making me come like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was just one girl I encountered. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, you know what I'm saying, I was just fucking on anything. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I come across some, it's not really like a matter of a looks type of thing, but I would really fuck on anything back in the day. It was just like pussy's pussy to me, you know what I mean? But I came across a few, good looking girls, average looking girls, whatever the case may be. It was just, at the end of the day, it was just a prostitute exchange. It's just like, okay, I'm doing this shit just to, you know what I mean, get a good sexual feeling, you know what I mean? So it's between, like I said, the girl I was naming, this other girl she made me come 3 to 4 times. That was the best vagina I ever had. Like, I promise you, my nigga, that shit, I was really like, you know what I'm saying, coming a lot. She's definitely in the list just because off of that. Like, she's, I think, the only girl that made me come multiple times like that. Like, I'm being completely honest. The only girl I encountered that made me come that much times before. Like, I was coming like crazy. Like, I never had that happen to me. All the rest of the girls were just, their vaginas just wasn't up to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, she made me come like 3 to 4 times. I don't know what it was, my nigga, but yeah, that's just what happened. You know what I mean? So I would say they in the top 2. The girl with the best head, second best head, but her vagina, it escalates to it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm doing a combination, you know what I mean? And her kisser was like, no, her kisser was awful, my nigga, but it was like, I don't even know. I don't want to spend too much time on this question. But anyway, number 9, what celebrities do you have in mind to talk to? I can't disclose that information, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that's not a good idea for me to do on a YouTube channel, you know what I mean? Number 10, what is your creative process of making music? thinking of what you want to talk about. So, for example, I gotta think of what I want to talk about in this next song because I gotta get more deep. This next song I'm writing will have a hook. You know what I'm saying? And you know we gonna go from there because I do gotta put some. I want to put at least 2 more hooks on this album. You know what I'm saying? So I want to have a total of 3 songs with a hooks and all the rest of them no hooks. You know what I mean? So this next song I'm writing will have a hook. I just gotta think of how I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna go from there. You know what I mean? But it's kind of just like, you know, you think of what you want to talk about and go from there. You know what I mean? But in this case, you know, like I said, I'm writing in real life, present, and past stories, and I'm doing this for myself because this is an album centered around me. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody else. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm writing this album. And, you know, I'm doing it for my future kids if I have some. You know what I mean? But the creative process is just simple. You know what I'm saying? You just think of some shit that applies to you and make it rhyme, my nigga, and make it flow and go together. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can really say. I can't give away too much sauce. You know what I mean? Number 11, advice to an overthinker. Advice to an overthinker is not to overthink. You know what I'm saying? And I used to kind of overthink, but it's kind of just like, you know, you just gotta sit back, relax, and be like, okay, you know what I mean? It's not that deep, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like, why are you overthinking in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, I don't. An overthinker is like somebody's like, okay, here's an example of an overthinker. An overthinker is somebody like this. Okay, we getting ready to go camping. And there's a sign that says no bears or lions or tigers. But we're getting ready to go camping. Okay, I need a gun just in case I see a bear. Or you know what I'm saying? I need an extra tent just in case this tent breaks. You know what I'm saying? I need to bring extra food just in case the food spills or some shit. You know what I mean? Or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I need to, you know what I'm saying, do this and that, do this and that. That's an example of an overthinker. You know what I mean? Somebody that is thinking too hard. Somebody that always thinks worst case scenario. And I think worst case scenario too all the time. But it's kind of like you got to kind of, you know, relax and kind of be like, okay, like, you gotta kind of just live. You know what I mean? You gotta live. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta stop thinking worst case scenario and think best case scenario. That's the example. That's the advice to an overthinker. Stop thinking worst case scenario. Think best case scenario. You know what I mean? That's the advice to an overthinker. Number 12. What's your number 1 red flag? So number 1 red flag, I'm gonna put this for men and women. We're gonna start with the men. Number 1 red flag in a man. As far as like people I have talked to in person, I'll say the number 1 red flag in a man is a man that jokes around too much. That's 1 red flag, that always joking around. You know what I'm saying? Clowning around. Well, I wouldn't say like, not like, kind of joking around disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag in a man. Another red flag in a man I feel like is a man that is always involved in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if a man's always getting in real life trouble, like with the police and shit, that's not a person I want to be around. And I would say, you know, another red flag in a man is like a man that, you know, I mean, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of wrong for me to get into all this about red flags in men, you know what I mean? I would just say, you know, I mean, another red flag in a man, like I said, is disrespectfulness, like joking disrespect. A man that always gets in trouble. A man that, you know, doesn't, you know, I guess, let's say if we, you know, have like a bit of a relationship, right? I'll say a man that, you know, that is not like supportive of you, you know what I'm saying, doesn't try to help you or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I would say those are a couple red flags. I'm not gonna get into detail because I feel a little odd doing this, you know what I mean? It feels like, you know what I mean? But I would say those are a few red flags in men. And then a couple of red flags in women. I can name a bunch, but I would say a couple of red flags in women. Let's say for any men out there that are in relationships, right? If you have a red flag, like let's say you get a girl, right? You have a red flag with one of them. I'll say a red flag with a girl is like, okay, she's around a lot of guys. That's the number 1 red flag right there. You know what I'm saying? If you a girl and I see you, if you always around a bunch of guys, I'm assuming that you getting fucked by at least like, you know what I'm saying, half of them. You know, I wouldn't say that, but like a piece of them, a fraction. You know what I mean? You getting like, you know what I mean? Like, there's been a few times, man, like, back when I was in school and shit, I would see girls that, I low-key had an eye on. Like, I had, like, a crush on or whatever. And I would see them around a lot of guys. So it's kind of like, man, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be around guys more than women. So to a guy, when a guy sees that, it's like, okay, she's not somebody that's girlfriend material. I mean, that's just what a guy going to automatically think, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a guy always sees a girl around dudes, it's like, that guy's going to assume she getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's just common sense, you know what I mean? Aside from that, I would say another red flag in a girl is a girl that, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get in too deep, you know what I'm saying? I want to name one more red flag that I'm going to keep it moving. Another red flag in a girl is a girl that, you know what I mean? Trying to think of something. Another red flag in a girl is a girl that is, I'm trying to think of something kind of universal. I mean, I was getting to say a girl that doesn't really have, ambition to be somebody in life. You know what I'm saying? I was getting ready to say something like that. But that's kind of, that applies to my age range. You know what I'm saying? So I could put it around my age range. I was trying to put it more universal. But you could say that, and then you could say, a girl that doesn't have a good personality. You know what I'm saying? Like a girl that, her personality is just not it. You know what I'm saying? So a girl that, just doesn't have a good personality. And then, a girl that, this and that and the third, you know what I mean? So, I mean, y'all already know I did videos on my Instagram and shit like that. Like, I did an Instagram live talking about things I despise about women. Those are essentially red flags, you know what I'm saying, that I despise about women, you know what I mean? What I despise, what I said in that Instagram live, are red flags in women, you know what I mean? So those are the red flags in women. I'm not going to repeat these for this video. You can go check that out on my Instagram. So those are red flags in women, you know what I mean? My biggest regret in life. This is a really good question, okay? So my biggest regret in life, this is the last question. My biggest regret in life. My biggest regret in life, I would say, is we can rewind back to the high school time. My biggest regret, I would say, in high school was not, was fumbling them girls that was trying to get at me. You can say that, you know what I mean? I would say that's my biggest regret. And then not studying for a permit and license, because I could have got that shit around the high school time period. I could have had real professionals teach me, like in driver's ed and shit, and I could have been driving. You know what I'm saying? A serious goal of mine to start driving, man. I really want to do that shit. You know what I mean? Those are my two biggest regrets. Fumbling a few girls in high school and the driving. Because, like I said, if I knew it would be this hard for me to get a girl flight, like just imagine if I would have took a chance with these girls. You know what I'm saying? My present could be different. Like, I probably would have ended up connecting with more girls. I probably would have had, you know what I'm saying, better shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my present will be different. Like, I probably wouldn't have even been, you know what I'm saying, paying for pussy and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I would say those are my two biggest regrets in life. And then beyond that, you know what I'm saying, after me getting this license and shit, I would have went to college. You know what I'm saying? I would have tried that out. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. And I probably wouldn't have even discovered I've been hacked. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Those are my biggest regrets in life. You know what I'm saying? And, my present could be totally different. You know what I mean? But like I said, I wanted to go to college after I graduated high school, because that's where my mind was most fresh academically. You know what I mean? Now, if I was to go to college, I would flunk that shit. Like, I'm not as smart as I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm making. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest regret. And that's the end of this Q&A. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all like this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. And I will get ready to, I'm getting ready to record tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get back recording tomorrow and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I got a song dropping tomorrow. maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like writing this song today, and we're gonna go from there. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'll see y'all later in my next video.